Why, hello there, and welcome to my sample series. This is where I showcase games running on either the PlayStation 4 Pro or the Xbox One X in 4K and or HDR. This week, I know it's been a while, but I'm finally going to try to get back into the swing of things. I'm featuring Red Dead Redemption 2 running on the Xbox One X. This is a game that runs at a native 4K resolution at 30 frames a second with HDR or high dynamic range. And I am recording at all those settings at about 40 megs a second bitrate. Now, spoiler alert, this takes place after the credits. I'm going to title this video something along the lines of 4K HDR sample Red Dead Redemption 2, parentheses, Xbox One X, and then end parentheses, and then post credits. So, if you don't want to know or anything about what happens in the story of this game, or I guess the Red Dead Redemption 1, for which this is a prequel to, stop watching this now. Alright, if you're still here, that means you either don't care about my warning or you didn't hear it, so whatever. Here I am. I am playing as John Marston here. That's right. This is the protagonist from the first game. Yeah, it's giving me this thing. Perhaps I should have waited to start recording until after I did that, but sadly I'm not smart enough to make those kind of smart decisions. Here I am at Beecher's Hope on my high horse. And I'm just going to wander around the world and show off how good looking this game is. This game is about 2 years old at this point, but it sure doesn't look it. This is just a gorgeous looking game. You can tell a whole lot of time, a whole lot of effort, and a whole lot of money went into the production of this here production. Yeah, from what I understand, the good people at Rockstar spent 5 years pretty much in crunch time the whole time making this game. Ever since the release of Grand Theft Auto 5. And it shows. And I'm just going to wander around the world just showing it off. And I'm not sure how many videos I'm going to do this week. I am trying a new method of recording these videos well ahead of Friday and then just having them published on Friday. So hopefully this will allow me to get back into doing these every week. Got a dog here. There's a dog. Got plenty of arguing going on. Got Victrola here. I feel like this thing wasn't out at the time that this game takes place in, which is 1899, but I'm not sure. I could be wrong. Alright, a quick tour of the house. It's pretty much the same house as the first game. In fact, I had a nice little entertaining mini game building it with Uncle and a few other people. Now, I felt a little conflicted about how to do this video series, because what I really wanted to do was to show somewhere in the middle of the game. I don't want to show the beginning because I don't think that's all that interesting visually. It's just a whole lot of snow and blizzard. And you're just sort of stuck in one area. Well, I wanted to load up a section more in the middle of the game. Unfortunately, the only way I can do that is just by doing individual missions. And I'm more interested in showing off the environment than anything, really. So I figured I'd just put the disclaimer that this is going to be taking place after the game ends. I don't necessarily have to spoil anything about the story specifically, but you are playing as a different character at the end of the game than you start out as in the beginning. Which, spoiler alert, the same thing happens in the first game, too. But yeah, I played through this game in my daily long play series about a month ago, actually. See, I played through all of Last of Us Part 2 since then, and I've played through most of Ghost of Tsushima as well. So yeah, about a month, maybe 2 months ago? I don't know. This year's going by fast, so it's hard to tell. In any case, just look at that view. From what I've experienced, this game runs at a pretty lock-solid 30 frames a second. I wonder if when the Xbox Series X comes out, if this game's going to be boosted up to 60, or maybe even 120 frames a second. Not that my TV is capable of handling that frame rate, or my surround sound system, or my capture card. My surround sound system routes all the signals, all the console signals through to the TV and the capture card, so it's a pretty vital piece of my setup, acting as both a splitter and a switcher. A little HDR there. Welcome to the state of New Austin. Let me show you the map here. Now, I have not explored anywhere near as much of this game as I could have, or should have, really, in terms of the LAN area, but this is generally the area in which this game takes place in. But, if you'll notice, got this little town of Blackwater here, as well as Beecher's Hope. That's significant because the first game, the edge of the map was at Blackwater. And if you look down to the left, where the first game takes place, it actually goes all the way over here. In fact, what I found out by looking at maps online is that this game has the entire US side of the map from the first game in it. It doesn't have any of the Mexico stuff, but all the US side, it has it, in addition to all this new stuff. Pretty cool, huh? The story of the game doesn't take you anywhere in that area, for the most part. I had a brief mission over here, but for the most part, it just doesn't take you there. So maybe I'll spend some time here exploring it. I take it New Austin is supposed to be Texas. By the way, these are going to be split up into half-hour videos. Unfortunately, a couple of years ago, maybe about a year ago, I found out that YouTube doesn't like me posting 2-hour long videos at this resolution, because when I did that with Spider-Man, I think, the videos just never resolved to their full resolution. They just got stuck at 360p for some reason. And I found that by limiting these videos to half an hour each, I was able to fix that problem. I don't know why that town isn't lighting up like that. Thieves Landing is an area I encountered briefly in the first game, but didn't spend much time there. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Doesn't seem like they're chasing me. No, as good looking as Red Dead Redemption 1 ended up looking on the Xbox One X, this game is just head and shoulders above it in every possible way. The only downside is the controls are a little sluggish. the input lag is significantly more pronounced. I remember listening to the Giant Bomb Game of the Year podcast. Hey, that's a skunk. Them talking about this, one of the members of that, Dan Reichert, actually argued vigorously for it to be the most disappointing game of the year, largely because of its pretty severe input lag. Even though the first one was one of his favorite games of all time. That's definitely something I've gotten used to. When I went back to record footage of the first game for my sample series, I could immediately feel how much snappier that game was. It was a big difference. Also, note, you may not even notice this, but I do have the air conditioner on. At the time of my recording this, it is August here in the northern suburbs of Detroit, and it's still hot. It's in the 80s right now, and I have to have the air conditioner on at night to lower the humidity level, otherwise I won't be able to get a good night's sleep at all. So if you can hear that coming through the microphone, I do apologize, but it's gotta be done. And now I've clearly gone off the trail. And also, it's nighttime. I'm just wandering through countryside at this point. The heck is going on there? Is that a tree house? Alright. I'm going away. Talk about an overreaction. Unless they weren't yelling at me, of course. Which is always possible. Look at that view. It's been at least a month since I've actually played this game, so I'm going to have to take a moment to get reacquainted with the controls. Look at that view. Now, one thing I never did much of was look at this game in first person. Which, just like GTA 5 on these systems, it has a first-person mode. You wouldn't expect that because the first game didn't have that, but it totally does. Ah. Now let's take a look at the map here again. I've clearly gone off the trails. Here's the McFarland Ranch. How about I head back there? Don't necessarily want to spend a whole lot of time in the old game territory. What I really want to do is show off some of the sights of the new game. Especially some of the cities. Wait till you see St. Denis. It is something else. You can forget about all these so-called cities from the first game. They're nothing. Nothing compared to St. Denis. That's almost like a Grand Theft Auto size city. Granted, it's like a GTA San Andreas size city, but still. It's pretty impressive. I think I need to eat something here. Go in our satchel here real quick. I don't have any. Okay, that doesn't do anything for my health core, which is the thing that's actually draining. I need to eat something.
You're doing well.
It's a neat trick. After you have a destination set out on the map, you can actually activate the cinematic mode by holding down the back button, and it will auto ride there for you. Certainly not a fast travel. Fast traveling in this game is not really all that fun. This is more of a leisurely enjoy the ride kind of mode. Oh. I guess I arrived. There's the house you start out in the first game. Now remember, this game takes place about at least 10 years before the first one does. Alright. Now what I'd like to do is I like to start going back towards some of these other cities. And here's Saint Denis, where I really want to go. As you can see, I got a little problem with the law there, so if I can make my way to a post office to pay off the bounty for that, I'll be in good shape. Problem is, I gotta find one. Preferably one that doesn't take me too far. Oh, here we go. You know what? I like that. Let's take that path. It'll take me a while, but you know what? I think I'll enjoy it. Ah, crap. Well, that's what happens when you get killed. Dead. All because of a random encounter spooked my horse. Just in case you thought I was some professional who knew what I was doing, I'm not. And I lost my hat.
Calm down, girl.
Those same coyotes or wolves or whatever they are chasing me. How will we get clear of them? Okay, I don't think they're chasing me anymore. Alright, awesome. Sorry about that. Let's get back on the trail here.
Hang in there, girl.
Press left analog stick to calm down the horse.
There you go.
Found myself doing that quite frequently. But yeah, this world is pretty darn massive. The fact that it contains more than half of the territory from the first game, as well as all the new stuff. That alone is evidence of that. I think that's the sun coming up again. Maybe? No. Maybe that's just a fire or something. Yeah, that's what that is. That same guy doing that same thing to that poor horse.
Doing okay, girl.
My goal is to get to a post office to pay off that bounty. If I can do that in this first video, I'll be in good shape. In the second video, I'll start my ride towards St. Denis. I think I have enough money to pay off the bounty, right? I don't know. Maybe I should have looked that up. We definitely should have sat down for dinner. Ah, crap. Not again. Stupid predators.
Don't let it get to you. Feel good?
Take care of the horse a bit.
Got an appetite. That's a girl.
Take better care of my horse than I do my character, apparently. How are we doing on the map part? Guess not that much further. Should be able to get there in about 5 minutes or so, probably less. Yeah, this is definitely going to be one of the games I want to take a look at running on the Xbox One X when I get that thing. Because unfortunately, I just learned today that Halo Infinite has been delayed till next year. The system's still coming out in November. It's just not going to have any... just doesn't have any killer launch titles yet. Announced, anyway. I mean, I might decide to get Cyberpunk and then wait until that system comes out and play it on there. Unless, who knows, maybe that's a launch title for it. Maybe that'll come out pretty close. We'll see. Ah, looks like the sun is starting to rise for real. That's good news. As nice as this world looks at night, it looks way better during the day.
Please, somebody.
Ah,
Hey,
come on,
you.
horse.
You. to sign Orlando.
Ah,
This time I escaped, but they have my husband. They're gonna kill him.
alright.
Studs, huh? Where are they?
It's the stone farmhouse back there where I came from.
I'll head there now.
I'll
Huh?
see about finding more help.
I thought she needed help, going somewhere. Alright, looks like I'm getting myself involved in a local problem. Which is totally the John Marston thing to do. Ooh, sorry. It seemed nice. Even though I ran into him like a moron. Before I,
Welcome. How do you do?
Oh yeah, I definitely have enough money for this.
Ready for a clean slate?
Yes, I am.
Now this record is cleared anywhere you go.
Cool. You know any place where I can get a bite to eat?
All right, girl.
Alright. Well, at least we got that taken care of.
Coming on, girl.
What's all with all the wolves around here?
Getting there, ain't we?
The Wild West sure is wild, huh?
Whoa,
Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop here. And I'm going to call this the end of the first video. And then I'll start at the second video and I'll go in and take on this mission. So yeah. And I should see you back here shortly.